Hello everyone and welcome, it's Eclectic Kelpie, and this is Adult Colored Glasses, the show where I rewatch media from my childhood satirically and sincerely, and today we are going to be watching Dave the Barbarian Episode 1. I forgot this existed until I saw it on a YouTube, just like, I don't even know what the video was, I just saw the thumbnail was talking about Dave the Barbarian, and I was like, whoa, that's a huge flashback to my childhood, because I definitely remember watching this show and really enjoying it, and man, there was so many good fantasy cartoons in the, like, early 2000s, and this is definitely the D&D player's starter pack when it comes to like media and like formative years development exposure to media, because I mean it's literally Dave the Barbarian. Although I don't know, I feel like I'll have opinions on what classes I think each of the characters would be, but I remember really liking it, and I remember it subverting a lot of the like traditional expectations of like masculinity and femininity and sort of what like the structure of what's expected of a personality to be based on like appearances and that sort of thing. So I thought that was kind of interesting with Dave, is that he's like a muscle guy but he's like scared of everything. So I think that's really fun that they're like, even back then they were kind of playing around with like gender role stereotyping. So I'm really excited to get into this and watch the first episode again, because it's been who even knows how long. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to get into it. So without further ado, let's watch the first episode of Dave the Barbarian. I even got my sword earrings in for this one today. It's very on brand, I feel. Okay. Immediately, this song slapped. This was one of the fantastic intros. And I feel, well, in the last Adult Colored Glasses, we did Witch, and I talked about how that theme song was really lackluster, compared to, like, these kinds of ones that are just bops. And it's so fun. Oh, I forgot about the dragon! I remember the magical sword. I remember Candy. I don't remember the uncle's name. Dave and Fang. And this, I can't remember the sword's name. But she's so, I loved her. Sassy and awesome. Oh my gosh, that's so great. This is crazy. It's great. This is already crazy. I literally forgot that this existed. Completely. But I loved this show. This is wild. Okay, I really hope that I enjoy this, because sometimes, you know, when you're like, oh, I loved that thing when I was younger, and then you, like, hate it when you're an adult because you see it in a completely different light. I feel like, oh man, I really hope this holds up. The stylistic choices of the art style, though, I think are really fun. They're kind of absurd, a little bit, maybe. We'll find out, we'll see as we go, but, like, yeah, it's so, oh, the nostalgia is, it's too much. It's too much for me right now. This is crazy. I love this already. Absurd. Absolutely absurd. But tell me this isn't a mimic. This is actually crazy. This is, whoever the creator of this played D&D and wanted to, like, make his campaign into an animated series, tell me I'm wrong. That's insane. This is crazy. The setup, I think, is also kind of wild, too. Like, because I don't remember that ever, like, specifying what the evil is. Or, like, that the parents, like, they just went off to, it's this concept of something evil that they, like, leave. It's such a wild concept. I literally, this is too, that was really fun. That was funny. That was exciting. This is so absurd. Oh my gosh. It's not a modern fantasy. It's not like an urban fantasy, but it, like, she's wearing Uggs. And the belt, like the skirt belt, and it's like a crop top kind of a situation. Like, it's just so fun. Also Fang, though. Like, also ridiculous. Love the energy, love the okay, I think okay, I'm not gonna determine their classes yet until we get further on, because I'm literally only like a minute into this. But this is so exciting. I love this already. It's also kind of fun. Their family dynamic, like, they argue, they're siblings, all the things. But it's like, there's still so much care. It's just a zany family that's put into an absurd setting. And it's just cute. And oh man, I'm just gonna be excited about it because it's so good. That's actually kind of a fun concept, actually. Our habituation to the world as it is, the mundaneness, what we consider to be normal, and, like, that, this kind of chore for them is probably, like, something that you could equate to going to the grocery store. Like, going into this enchanted forest where they have to go and slay a muffin monster is, like, having to go to work at your, like, 9 to 5. Stuff like that. Like, it's so funny to think about how fantasy characters are, like, because they kind of made it, like I don't want to do that. That's such a, like, annoying chore to have to do, but it's fun because it's absurd. It would be like, oh man, I don't want to have to go and clean the bathroom, but I guess I have to go and slay this giant muffin. Like, I love that. I love that they're, like, making mundane experiences out of something that's so, like, grand and what would be considered by, like, our reality to be absurd. And I love that. I love the, like, taking it casually. The humor is really fun. The absurdness is really fun. This is such good, fast-paced, witty dialogue. Obviously, it's, like, still children's level dialogue. Like, Candy talking about, like, oh, there's no shopping here. Like, it's obviously very children's dialogue. But it's just, like, I can really appreciate that this is very fast-paced, very witty, very, like, they thought out all of the things. And I'm just happy to be here. Like, okay, I think that this is kind of I like situational humor. And so the sword being like, Dave being like, oh, let's run away, this is too scary. And she's like, oh, you know what would be fantastic here, David, is if you had a sharp implement to cut the muffin with, David. And it's like, the sword is my favorite character. Like, that's too fun. That was so cute. He, like, did little ballet tippy-toe steps over to the muffin. I love this so much. I love this so much. Ah, the sword's name is Lula. Okay. Odd choice, but okay. Why not? Also, I still haven't heard the uncle's name, so I have no idea. I also am a little bit obsessed with the combination of, like, modern day language where it's very, like, casual and modern as we speak, but then they also, like, drop little, like, verily your sword is stuck in this stump. Like, it's I love that. I love the like, I don't know, this is just so fun. Also, this is insane. They made King Arthur and muffins. This is an unhinged D&D campaign. This whole show, a lot of things check out. They even have a little narrator. It's giving Baldur's Gate 3 for, like, 5-year-olds. Maybe. I actually don't know what age range this would, but yeah. It's giving. It's really, this is so fun. This is so cute. Also, I love the sword is voiced by the same lady who plays the maid in Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. And it's just, this is where she thrives. I like it. We don't like cultural appropriation. That is something that people would wear now. Like, That is so... They've made a festival around pulling the sword out of this stump. And I think that this is just so fun. That is the kind of humor that is, like, today's, like, nihilistic humor. I tried and failed. And people would wear that. And I like the shirt. And they have a chiropractor. They brought a chiropractor to the stump. It's so absurd and fantastic and fantastical. It's a little pixie swindler. I just can't. I want to play a campaign in this world and exist in the absurdity. And just the self-awareness of it, actually, is what's, like, I think really funny. And what I'm enjoying the most out of it is they're all, like, aware of, like, how ridiculous this is. And calling attention to it as well. This pixie guy is like, oh, nobody could pull the sword out of the stump, so I am gonna, be the king now of your kingdom. And I don't make the rules, but, like, that's just what the rules are. And then they, like, Dave points out, like, your name is the author of the rule book. And he's like, don't worry about it, it's fine, it's a typo, just move along. And it's, like, they're just going with it, even though they recognize that this is just insane. And it's just a delight. This is just such a good day. I don't like the gross humor. They kind of lost me a little bit. I have confidence they'll get me back. I'll be on with it, but I'm not here for this. The self-awareness. The guy's like, do you remember the muffin monster? The sprite's like, nah, I came in after that scene. Please. It's too good. Other than the gross humor of, but I feel like that was very, like, of the time. Kids find gross things funny. I don't like it. Otherwise, though, I'm back. And the muffin monster had a brother. I didn't catch what they said. Was it a croissant? Who knows? We'll find out. They're doing a Survivor reference? Was this had to... I feel like they had to have been... This is family content. Because I, as an adult, I am enjoying this fast-paced, witty dialogue, absurdity, self-awareness. And I think that, like, children would enjoy, the art style, the colors, the fun animation design, and the gross out humor, which, whatever, and, like, that sort of thing. But, like, they literally have an immunity token, which is just absurd. Perhaps this one's a chocolate muffin, but this also is kind of ridiculous. The muffin had an older brother. I have questions. Is it sort of like Enchanted Gingerbread Man style baking? Where just the whole tin of muffins, so there's like 6 of them, or just these 2, or they're just mimics and this is just another mimic, and this village is just overrun with mimics. I have no memory of this episode, I will preface. I feel like there's gonna be a switch on the stump where it's like the Disney, like, Sword in the Stone by the carousel, and you can pull it up at the parks, and there's like a switch or something. There's like, anyways, it's like magnetized in some kind of capacity. And I bet that this is going to have something like that. Because that would just be perfect. Why not? Have a little switch. She'll pop right out. Never mind, it was the power of family. Disregard previous statement. The power of family and friendship. I like that they did that joke callback. It didn't take very long for it to come back and be a thing, but it was cute because Fang, who's like rough, tough one, is like, oh, he threw my room, my dolls are in there. And she's like, never mind my weapons. Don't worry about it. The uncle's room got thrown as well. He's like, oh no, all my dolls are in there. I mean, magic stuff. So I think that's cute that they like, comedies in threes as the rules go. Oh, I love that too. It's like a scroll, like a tapestry scroll on parchment. I don't know. I like this. I like this energy. The self-awareness is just killing me. They're like, oh, and now I was appreciating it stylistically. They're saying that they didn't animate it because it would be much too expensive for a show like this. We're low budget. Here's some little still images. Enjoy the muffin's destruction. This is ridiculous. What? All the children are allowed to bounce on the muffin top because it's now a trampoline, except for this one kid because he has been bad. What? That's absurd. All right. So this show has apparently 2 segments, so we're about to head into segment number 2, but wow. Okay. Anyways. Y2K Fantasy? Like Ella Enchanted? And this? And that sort of thing? It just warms me. Warms my heart. And it just brings me joy for the nostalgia of it all. Because it's so, like, it's so ridiculous. But it's just so good. They have, like, a huge, like, a mall. And the guy's doing the escalator. And they have just, like, a Greek food restaurant just, hanging out there. Why not? Is this set... I would assume that this was set in, like, medieval England or something like that. Based on, like, doing the King Arthur thing in the previous segment. And just feels like it would fit to be, like, a medieval England. But I just think that this is just so... Y2K Fantasy. Lobotomies? Okay. They have self-help books in scroll formation. He's going to either be a therapist or he's gonna cause malarkey shenanigans and a ruckus. A therapist. Which is also probably going to cause a ruckus. That's such a... So I have a psych degree. And it kind of... It's kind of a funny stereotype. It's the how does that make you feel? And that kind of is the point, is therapy is about introspection. But it's just funny. It's just... Yeah, okay. Sword Girl was so done with all of the nonsense that her releasing scream awoke an eldritch terror. I am obsessed with brains that come up with such ridiculousness. This is a half snake man that is the Udrugothian god of overused punctuation. And I am very intrigued and excited to learn what that means and what that looks like in practice. Continue. That's such a good question. You know what? Next time anybody starts, like, popping off, getting angry, shooting fire at you, stop and ask them why. And I love the descending into madness. Existential crisis. That's so convenient. The setup. Who can help me with all of my big feelings? And then obviously Dave. That's so... Yeah, I like the setup that they do for their jokes and the humor. Alright, I think it's time. Man, Candy's so hard to put a class on. Oh, Candy's so hard to put a class on. I feel like the uncle is obviously a wizard. That's fine. Maybe sorcerer, maybe he was born with it, maybe it's Maybelline, who could say? But I'm gonna go with wizard. I feel like he studied, he practiced, he said magic takes a long time to learn in the first section of the episode. Wizard. Great. Easy peasy. Fang, I think, is a barbarian. I think that she very clearly goes into rage, very clearly all of that. I think that Dave the Barbarian is actually a paladin. Controversial, I know. But I feel like he is like his oath is protecting people. I don't know, like he's giving more paladin rather than barbarian to me. And then Candy, I don't know. Candy's kind of generic NPC a little bit, which is kind of sad, but she's kind of just being like a generic NPC. I haven't seen her like give a class personality indication. So, until further notice, wizard, baby dragon, magical sword, barbarian, paladin, and NPC. I like the concept of like, oh, you're gonna go to therapy and you're gonna like, go through the process of internal healing and all that stuff. He goes and does the therapy, he cries, he lets the emotions out, he does the thing. But now he's just like secure with being evil and destructive, which, you know what? Girl boss, pop off, enjoy. Be evil and destructive. That's your life's calling. She's a monk. Never mind. Candy has been established. She's a monk. Yeah, for sure. She's a monk. Look at her. Okay, A+. No more NPC. She just took a second to like get motivated, but she's a monk. They're doing art therapy. That's so cute. Healing. Go to therapy. Everybody needs it. Candy's facilitating family therapy. Oh my god. This is inserting modern concepts into Y2K fantasy. This is just where I'm obsessed with this. And now they're gonna go destroy the northern half of the continent together. Aww. Everybody's happy endings. Oh my goodness. Yeah, wow. What a treat. Okay, well, that was Dave the Barbarian. I can't believe that I forgot that existed. That was such a delight and such a treat to watch that. So absurd. But yeah, no, I think that was a huge thing, I feel like, in the early 2000s. There was like Y2K fantasy. I feel like if I'm gonna give this one a rating, it's gotta be like, I would give it a 4, but I think I have to give it a 3.5 because there was some unfortunate outdated content in this show. And we do have to watch things with the knowledge that they are based in their time and not everything is going to age well. Some things didn't age well, and so that's why I'm going to give it a 3.5, but like an upper 3.5. I would give it a 4 if there wasn't questionable material. But there is, so it is what it is. But like, man, this was a treat. This was so fun. I think it still holds up, other than questionable material. But like, the humor, oh man. Okay, yeah. This was really fun. This was really fun to rewatch. The things that I didn't like were the gross out humor. Kids shows, what are you gonna do? Some content that didn't age well. It's from the early 2000s. Again, what are you gonna do? It was the product of its time. We can still appreciate the content, but also the whole point is to look at things from a critical lens with our knowledge now, and so that's what we have to do while we're watching content that is older material. But yeah, oh my gosh, this was so fun. I really enjoyed this. Man, the nostalgia has been going so hard lately. I don't know if this is like just me and my circle. It's just been a time right now. And I just feel happy. I just feel happy. I'm glad that I got to re-enjoy this. Yeah. And that was the first episode of Dave the Barbarian. This was such a treat. I'm very pleased that I rewatched this. And I hope that you all enjoyed being on this journey with me, watching this show again. This was such a treat. So, if you did enjoy this episode, consider giving a like and subscribing so you can continue joining us on all of our adventures. But with that, thank you all so much for watching. Everything with love, and we'll see you next time in the treasure trove. Bye.